Hey everybody, this is day 6 challenge, and today I'm going to be talking about scary things. But first of all, I want to let you know that I'm not eating today. I'm not promoting anybody to fast. I feel like it's necessary for me, so I'm going to do that because I know how. I've been doing it for years. Ever since I was 25 years old, I've been fasting. Or maybe even before that, ever since I was 20 years old. My mom was a health nutritionist. She went to school to study foods and what foods do to people, because she got scared because her family, most of her family was dying of cancer. And even she died of cancer, and my sister died of cancer, 6 months apart from each other in 2013. But anyhow, she did the best she could, you know, with her genetics and her family. But I'm not promoting anybody to fast. But I'm just telling you what I do for me and what works. Animals in nature, when they get sick or whatever, they eat grass and they don't eat food. They fast. But I'm doing a fast today, a long overdue fast. I'm outside in nature, walking around in the grass, in the sunshine. I'm doing a fast. I was doing it when I started this detox, this real good, what I call a really good detox, when I started learning about Dr. Morse's herbs and stuff to help the body. In August of 2017, I started doing fasting, and I did dry fasting. That's where you don't drink or eat anything for however many hours you can go, and I do not recommend anybody do that, because like I said, you could cause a healing crisis in your body if you don't know what you're doing. You could have to go to the hospital. You know, you really got to know what you're doing when you fast. So I do not recommend that. I do not promote anybody to fast unless they really know what they're doing, or have a physician or somebody that can walk beside them while they do it. But what I'm going to be talking about today is scary things. The reason why I fast. You know, I got a tumor in 2017 on my head. And it was right here. They took it out. It was sticking out. It was the size of a lemon. The biggest part of it was on the inside, but it was stuck out pretty big there. I wore a hat to cover it. And I kept thinking it would go away, but it never went away. So I got scared, and I went and had it removed. And that was the scariest part, because they didn't put me under anesthesia. They only did a local anesthesia. And so I felt it a little bit, and then they raised me up off the table while they was pulling it out. My head actually they was trying to pull it and cut it at the same time. And it was scary. And I didn't take any painkiller other than the anesthesia, locally anesthesia that they did. But it was benign. And anyhow, and then you know, I had a goiter on my throat, and it's just about dissolved. Like I said, I went 4 months without, on raw, August, September, October, November. I did all raw, and I did 36 to 48 hour dry fast every single week. Allowing my body to rest, giving my body what it needed to have to heal. And so that goiter is just about gone. I almost don't have it anymore. So that I still need to, you know, I still need to keep going, because I've got things in my body. Why do I have all these things, problems in my body? And why have I had these things in my body? Well, it basically starts with genetics. How strong is your genetics in your family? When I was little, when I was 2 years old, I started off having kidney problems. They put me in the hospital when I was 2 years old with blood coming from my kidneys. My mother did the best she could for us back then, but I was raised on pork, you know, just bad stuff that really wasn't good for the body. You know, milk. I'm not telling you not to drink milk. I'm not telling you not to eat pork. I'm just saying these things are polluting to my body. They pollute my body. My body is very sensitive. I've always had a very sensitive body. And I believe growing up, ADHD, and I also believe I was dyslexic. I had a hard time learning in school. I had brain fog. I couldn't concentrate. I kind of felt like I was in la la land all the time, not being able to think straight. And I didn't do good in school, and I didn't have a lot of help back then. My parents didn't know what to do for me, so they hadn't heard of ADHD back then. They didn't give kids medicine back then, which I don't think is a good thing, but that's not for me to say right now, because anyhow. So I had a lot of things going on in my body, and we also had scoliosis that ran in the family. Russell had it real bad. He had a rod put in his back whenever he was, I think, 15 and a half. And he was in the hospital for 6 months. And he laid on a stretcher for a long time, and they would turn him after having that surgery, having that rod put in his back to cure his scoliosis. But that was hard. We had to go to the Gastonia Hospital, and I lived in Thomasville. That's where I'm from. So we had to go to the hospital every single day to visit him, or every single weekend. But there was times where we would stay up there, you know, when he had his surgery for longer periods. And then he had to wear a cast on his body, a full cast for a year, and that was hard on him. And so scoliosis runs in the family. Russell had it, and then Kim, my sister, had a little bit. She had to wear a brace, a back brace. And she didn't ever wear it, really. And I think that's why I have some back problems. I've had a sciatic nerve that I've had to deal with for years, but I think that come from being a seamstress for 35 odd years. And so anyhow, I've had to deal with the sciatic nerve problems. Exercising and the right diet has tremendously helped me. I've seen a huge difference in how my sciatic nerve started to get better when I was on the 4-month protocol of eating grapes and watermelon and doing my fast every week. I had bone spurs in my feet. Couldn't even hardly walk. Hey, I'm outside walking barefooted right now. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, I'm walking barefoot, and it feels good to my feet. Had high cholesterol, and had a hysterectomy. Never was able to have children. And so that's the reason why I fast, and that's the reason why I eat the way I do, because I feel great when I'm doing these things. Like I said, fasting is not necessarily a fun thing. It's a personal thing. It's something each person has to decide for themselves and search it out, what's best for them. I like doing it. I like the way I feel afterwards, especially. And yes, I get a little bit weak, and yes, I might get a crisis. I've had crises, a lot of crises, while I fasted, but it didn't scare me, because I know my body was trying to heal itself. When you get pain in the body somewhere when you're fasting, that's your body trying to repair itself. And your body has to tear down. When you are rebuilding something, if you rebuild a deck out on a pier somewhere, you have to tear down the old before you can rebuild back the new. So your body has to tear down before it can build back. And so no, it doesn't scare me. I've never had such a the crisis that I've had is not near as bad as the suffering I've had in my body from things that's gone wrong in my body and me going to the doctor and trying to have them to fix it for me, that's scarier than anything. Them to do surgery on me, and I almost died when I had my hysterectomy. It took me 5 years to get over that, and I didn't think I was going to live through that. It was a very traumatic thing for me, and I wished I wouldn't have had it done. I wished I'd have known what I know today, and will I ever be as healthy as some of the people that Dr. Morris has helped and has completely got better, and some of them gotten better faster than I have? I don't know, because I'm 60 years old. This is why I'm doing this challenge too, to help me stay on my protocol, because I'm 60 and I really need to keep kicking it, you know, keep working at it to get all the stuff that I've eaten all these years out of my body, because I'm a sensitive person and I just can't handle all the stuff that other people can eat. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they have clarity. I don't know how they don't have brain fog and feeling bad all the time and have the energy to do everything they need to do. I'm raising a family at 60 years old. I have a 7-year-old daughter that I got when she was 1 year old. I have a son, I have 2 sons, 15 and 17, and a husband that I dearly love. And, you know, I have a family to raise, and a cat and a dog. They're like family. They are my family, Tinker and Tico. But anyhow, you know, I have to have a lot of energy to do the things I do, and have a garden. I love my garden. I've been out there pruning my leaves yesterday, getting the dead ones off. But, you know, I do a lot. I take care of my mother-in-law and my father-in-law across the street, and I help take care of them. You know, they're doing pretty good, but I do help them a lot. So, I mean, you know, I have to have a lot of energy, and I have to do a lot of things in my old age. So to do all that, you know, I need energy. And what gives me energy? Alkalizing fruit. That gives, the sweet, sugary fruit gives me the most energy of anything I've ever eaten. And I can eat as much of it as I want in mono meals. One fruit at a time. And I might be hungry at 12 o'clock at night before I go to bed. Usually I'm not, but if I am, hey, I'm going to eat me 3 or 4 bananas before I go to bed. Usually I don't eat bananas that much. I like making smoothies and ice cream out of it, and I'm going to be posting more videos on here of yummy recipes when I get time. So if you want me to post videos of any particular thing, if you'll ask. I know I had a girl I went to school with asked me about water, and I posted that yesterday. So if you have something you want me to talk about, feel free just to ask me. If I know about it, I'll share it with you. Anyhow, this video is 13 minutes long, and no, I'm not promoting fasting. I'm just telling you why I do it. And I had Dr. Morris to do an iris analysis on my eye. If you've never heard of it, that's where they can read your eyes, and they can look at your eyes, and they can tell what's wrong with your body. And I'll show you a chart. It's very interesting. I don't have a chart right now to show you, but I am ordering me a chart. It's very interesting, and it's true, because I had a goiter also on my throat. That's why I started the fast in August, September, October, and November. Not my fast, but my raw food protocol and fasting. And like I said, my goiter's almost gone. And just some scary things that can happen to your body, you know. Reason why I do things, and my body's sensitive, and my genetics are not as good as a lot of people's are. Because people ask you all the time, well, why does, you know, your mama was so healthy and she did this and that, and why did she get sick? Because she didn't stay at it. This is something you got to do. It's got to be a lifestyle change. It's got to be something you do. It's what you do every day. It's not how you cheat every now and then. It's what you do, you know, what you do 300 days a year, not what you do 365 days a year. So you have some cheats in there. But it's what you do the most of, and keep at it, and keep working at it, to be what you're supposed to be what God intended for you to be, to eat the food that God intended for you to eat. But anyhow, you know, my mom didn't stay with it, you know, and she ate a lot of cooked food, and there at the end she was even eating meat, and she didn't eat meat for many years, and she started getting dementia and forgetting what she ate and stuff, and she got sick fast. And anyhow, I'm gonna end this video, and I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.